You wouldn't make it financially. Your daughter would love her dad's house more than yours. Both of these thoughts felt completely true to me after my divorce. Neither one was true. I'm Ruth Abraham, and I coach divorced men because I was the wife who asked for the divorce. And there's a voice a lot of men I coach describe. It doesn't sound like their ex, it sounds like them. And it says things like, you're not a good father. You were never really there. You'll never make it on your own. And here's what I've learned. The voice isn't the truth. It's a distorted thought. And a thought that feels true isn't the same thing as a thought that is true. If you're carrying around judgment right now towards yourself, towards your ex, toward how any of this went, I made something exactly for that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But first, let me tell you where this started for me. After I asked for my divorce, there were things that I believed with my whole chest, that I wouldn't make it financially, that my daughter would rather be with her father because he kept the house. So she had her room, her playroom, everything she knew, and I was in a condo a third of the size. At the time, it didn't feel like fear, it felt like fact. And here's something I wish I understood sooner. Our minds do this on purpose. When you're stressed or you're scared, your brain looks for shortcuts, fast conclusions instead of accurate ones. It's not broken, it's trying to protect you. It's just not always right. And there's a couple of specific ways this shows up. One is assuming that you know what someone else is thinking about you. Filling in the blank with your worst fear with no actual evidence. I did this. Someone once made an offhand comment that made me feel like I had no ambition, no drive. And for a second, I believed it. Then I remembered I built a career for 15 years before I ever stayed home. That wasn't a fact about me. It was one person's opinion, and I handed it more power than it deserved. The other is taking the blame for something that was never yours to carry, deciding the whole thing fell apart because of you specifically, when there are always two people in the story. These thoughts feel true. That's exactly why they're so convincing. But feeling true and being true are two different things. So here's the tool I actually use with myself and with the men that I coach. When one of these thoughts shows up, pause and ask one question. What's the evidence? Not what does it feel like, but what is the evidence? When I ask myself that about my own fears, financially about my daughter, the evidence didn't hold up. I found a job. And my daughter never once loved me less because of the square footage. This is exactly the kind of judgment my free guide, Letting Go of Judgment, is built to help you work through. The constant case building against yourself that keeps you stuck long after the divorce is final. Now, if you're watching this and there's a voice in your head telling you you weren't a good father, that you were never really there, I want you to sit with something. A lot of time, that voice isn't even yours. It's an echo, something said in the middle of the divorce when someone needed a reason. And once a thought like that takes root, your mind will go back years looking for evidence to support it. I didn't help around the house enough. I missed a soccer game. I got frustrated over something small. It builds a case out of moments that were just moments, not verdicts. So the next time that voice shows up, don't argue with it and don't obey it. Just ask one question. What's the evidence? You don't have to believe every thought that walks through your head. You just get to choose which ones that you want to keep. If this gave you something to sit with, I would love to hear from you. What's the story that you're ready to stop believing? Tell me in the comments below. And if you haven't already, that free guide that I mentioned, Letting Go of Judgment, is linked below. It's built to help you with exactly this, the judgment you've been quietly carrying about yourself, about her, and how it all went. If this video helped, please subscribe, because the story in your head doesn't get the final word. You do.